my name is Star, and welcome to the threesome. A little bit about me. I am a Detroit-based photographer slash photojournalist, soon to be empty nester. That about sums it up for me.
Okay. Well, I'm Storm. I live in the Detroit area. I am originally from Texas. I was not born in this country, so we don't need to talk about that. I am also an empty nester. I'm also an empty nester, and yeah, that's all about me too. So, what about you, Magic?
Magic, some fucking random Jersey ass washed up rapper that currently lives in Virginia. So, yeah, welcome to the threesome, bitch. Anyway.
Interesting enough, you're not an empty nester.
Nah, my kids are 8 and 10 and they haven't hit puberty yet, so I'm still cool. I got young kids because I waited till I was old and got married to have kids, which is a highly overrated idea.
Okay, well, first of all, fuck you.
Maybe later.
Damn.
But also, you know, we'll see how proud you are of that when you're an old dude having to go through.
I'm already old, and yeah,
having to deal with other people's puberty is my point.
I've already done it with my nieces. Like, I'm good. It's not hard work, but
yeah, it's different when it's your
forward.
Especially because you got 2 girls.
Yeah.
Party
I only had to deal with. Yeah, I only had to deal with one in it, and I almost went crazy.
Good luck, bro.
I got time. So are we doing questions this week? Because there's not much intro to this shit.
Well, I mean, maybe I should say how I know y'all.
Yeah, because you're the centerpiece here.
Yeah, I'm the linchpin. How about that?
I don't like the word lynch, but we're good.
A linchpin.
Okay. I mean, you can't blame the word lynch. I mean, when you put Berg lemonade after it, it's pretty good. I don't know.
My light-skinned militants will not allow me to let that ride, but do what you're doing.
Okay.
To the East Black word. City.
I lust you.
Don't make me come over there. Anyway, so
I'll make you come any way I feel like it. But go ahead.
Anyway, so
you can hear you blushing over the phone. Wow.
Okay, I will come over there, by the way.
Wow.
But
I can just step out of this conversation. Like, y'all don't need me. Like, the hell you need me for?
Because it is the threesome. Stay in. Participate.
Yeah, I'm going to be severely neglected.
I don't neglect anybody.
So anyway, our children grew up together is pretty much how we know each other. They are, 8 days apart?
Yeah.
Born at the same hospital?
Yep.
Yeah, so...
Did y'all get pregnant at the same party?
No, we didn't know each other before the kids were born.
Okay, just checking.
Same babysitter.
And that's how we came to know each other at, the age of 2 months? When they were 2 months old?
Yeah, when they were about 2 months, yeah.
Yeah. And so we've known each other that long. Our kids, by the way, just turned 22.
Oh, wait.
Yeah. So we have known each other for quite some time. Matt and I went to the same high school. However, we have not known each other for 22 years.
Oh, no. Explain how we met. That's hilarious.
I don't remember. We know other people, because we went to the same high school.
Lord have mercy. Okay, I'm going to need you to step to the side. Okay,
Okay.
so back when Facebook was a wilder place and you could do shit that doesn't get censored, we were in a group of people who were wilding, to say the least, and it was pretty easy to determine who was really about that life and who was just there to watch. And we met each other there.
Yes, and found that we have the same affinity for words.
Sexual inhibition. No, sorry. Anyway.
Well, I mean that too, but
Yeah.
it was mostly the fact that he was a wordsmith, and I dig that kind of thing. So
Oh.
we started talking a lot more.
Oh. Thus a friendship was born.
When I met Star, she was married.
Shame.
Why is it a shame?
I truly believe marriage is an outdated concept. Like, it sounded cool back in the days, but now, like, you can't promise nobody forever. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Well, I mean, promise. Well, it was easier to promise forever back in the day when people were dying of scurvy at like 30.
Yeah, and then the man was doing all the work, and the woman was in a sense financially dependent. Like, yeah, that shit don't exist anymore.
Wait a minute. The man was not doing all the work. The woman was doing all the work.
Depending
the man was
on how you look at it. I said financially.
Okay, financially. But the woman was doing all the heavy lifting. Okay. The bearing of babies, the cleaning up behind his nasty ass, and things like that.
I guess that's back when they only had white drawers and they were tidy whities and shit stains happen. I don't know.
I don't even know that they were tidy whities. I don't even know what the underwear situation was back in the day.
I'd imagine it couldn't have been that fucking complex.
I'm sure, which is why I don't think it was tidy whities. I think, it was probably, I don't know.
What, loincloth? We're not going that far.
Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I don't know.
Loincloth.
We should get back to that in the summer.
What, loincloth? Not my fat ass. Are you kidding?
I'm not talking about us.
Oh.
What, dudes? Nah,
well,
I'm good.
I'm not talking about all dudes.
Yeah, because some of them, as they age, their nether regions begin to go south.
Hang below the loincloth.
Right.
I thought that was a good
that's
thing.
Okay.
You thought what?
I thought that was a good thing.
Well,
How?
I mean,
okay,
not necessarily.
As long as we're here and we're doing the threesome shit, let's get into the fucking 3 questions. My personal one for the day is, we all know size matters to an extent. Up through 8 inches, y'all are good. Anything past that, it's like cool to see or it's cool to fuck with occasionally, but nobody's trying to do that on a regular basis.
Shit.
Okay.
Go.
You want to take that, Star?
Go, because I need to get... I'm visual. You go first.
Okay. I don't know. I've always felt like size mattered to men more than it did to women.
That I know.
For the most part,
Yes,
for the most part. Now, there are extremes on either end, ranging from, is it in, to you're not about to tear up my insides. There are extremes, is what I'm saying.
She's being nice.
Not to cut you off, but what is the mark of, you ain't about to tear up my insides? What range is that?
Okay, so
it's very much a visual assessment, a quick visual assessment. Like, no.
It's a quick visual assessment, but then you also have to know who it is that you're dealing with, because
exactly,
if you dealing with some young cat with 10 with a good 10 or 11, it's like, nah, dude, bad. Because
right.
he jackrabbiting and he going to try to kill you.
Exactly.
You gonna be at the doctor's office on the table talking about a tilted uterus. Like, what the hell? So you also have to know who it is that you're dealing with. Like, you meet a 50-year-old dude with a 10-incher, it's like, okay, that's okay. Let's see what that do. You understand what I'm saying? Because he's not trying to kill you. I mean, he may, but the chance,
right? And also,
I mean, realistically, you got to give him a few minutes.
I was gonna say, and also I can deal with that for like 3 or 4 minutes. So the 50-year-old, I'm good with.
But some 20, 30, like, no, you're not coming nowhere near me with that because you don't even know how to control your shit yet. Like,
and that's it, yeah. Because you're not gonna just be pounding on me.
You're not gonna do that. You just no. I mean, and sometimes that's a good thing, but you can't start out just like that. The muscles have to relax and expand. Like all of that, whatever. You have to get some stretching going on before you get to going through all of that. And
exactly, I have to mold to you a little bit.
Exactly,
first.
But the young dudes don't know how to let that happen.
Exactly.
They don't know how to
truly understand it because when you're young, you're relying on size and stamina much more than know-how.
Now, here's in the case where size matters. Size has always been an issue for me, no matter what size I have been, because
you have a big ass.
Because I have a healthy posterior. So
yes, I said that. You got a big ass.
You can't come to me with 6 inches and expect to get anything done that's gonna make me happy.
Well, that's why I mentioned
it from the back or missionary.
But I don't always want to be on my knees. I don't always want that. Can I get some face-to-face contact and actually feel you inside of me without you being in the back? Like,
well, even in the back though, there's a certain point where it's like, I mean, you have to have at least enough that I know you're there.
You have to have enough because then, and here's the thing, as you are going on in the body and as the woman begins to mold to the man, if he's insufficient, that stretching is just going to make it worse. Okay?
Yes.
That stretching is going to make it worse. And then if you happen to be a woman who either starts out naturally moist or
I was gonna say, if you bring that wet, then
That's a side question. Hold on. Isn't the level of your moisture dependent on your attraction to him?
Yes and no.
In my 20s, no.
Why?
Now, yes.
No, well, it's a yes and no, okay? Because everybody isn't built the same. Like I used to think that everybody was equally.
Stop trying to censor yourself. Speak your fucking mind.
I'm trying to censor myself.
Nah, fuck that. Spit it out.
Okay. I thought that everybody was like, I thought all vaginas were equally wet,
No.
Turns out that's not the case.
Some
people maybe, due to, some health issue or other issue or just their physiology, their natural physiology, maybe they don't lubricate as easily.
You're stretching it out. Some people are geysers and other people are sandpaper. Move on.
Okay.
No, I get that, but what I'm asking is, isn't it dependent on what the man is doing?
That's why I said yes and no, because not necessarily.
Because
I don't mean like doing literally, but the level of attraction.
I was getting ready to say, because there have been 1 or 2 dudes in my time that all I think you got to do is sit there and blink.
It's the level of attraction.
It's not necessarily. Well, that's what I'm saying. It depends on who you are and how you're built. Because, like for me,
are you a size queen?
Am I? No.
Yes. That I don't understand what you mean by how you're built.
The right man, I mean, a dude can say the right word to me and I'm a fountain. Okay. But other people need, more direct stimulation.
So it's back to the point. The more you're attracted, the more wet you are.
No, because it may not be that. No. No. What I'm saying is, I don't even know how to make you understand. Yes, the more you're attracted, the wetter you are. Okay. However, there are some people who just don't get that wet to begin with. They just won't. No matter how attracted they are, they're going to need a little bit of extra,
Wouldn't that be medical at that point?
Yeah. So barring any medical complications.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But, just telling you the things that I've heard.
Okay.
And I hear a lot.
Get into my level of arrogance. I'm trying to learn here.
I hear a lot is all I'm saying.
Okay. Star, what do you know?
I mean, I thought I said it. For me, okay, so for me in my 20s, yeah, it didn't take a whole lot. But now, like in my 40s, I for damn sure know the difference. And let me put a disclaimer out there. Not that I care what folks think. I'm just saying for clarity. I don't sleep around like that. However, we all have
like
those
did in your 20s.
Look, we've all had whole phases. Let's not act like we ain't grown. Whole phases happen. They are necessary to being an adult.
Okay, I was just trying to clarify that.
Wait, no. Here's the thing. I don't sleep around in my 20s. Even at almost 50, my numbers still don't hit double digits. I didn't sleep around.
Okay. You poor baby.
I know, and I've got some catching up to do. However,
yeah, you need to find some more young dudes because we're in.
We still have to get to the body count conversation some other episode. But go ahead.
Yeah, my body count's real low. Whatever. It's almost shameful at this point. I mean, isn't that sad though? Like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, I'm just really particular, and I'm very visual. So it's real easy for somebody to fuck up with me and just drive me all the way up. And that's part of the reason why my numbers are so low, because it's like, in my 20s, like I said, it was easy. But now that I'm in my 40s, if I let's just say, there's definitely a difference, or barely still. Barely still. So don't be funny.
You know how she tried to slide that I'm in my 40s. Okay.
But you got a couple of days until you all the way out this mug. So don't go there. Don't go clowning.
Okay, but look, I'm still in my 40s too.
Okay.
By the time the next broadcast comes, we will be. While you trying to clown me, you forget where you sit.
I look forward to being a quinquagenarian or something. I don't know.
Oh.
I look forward to it. Yes. Because then I can dispose of my filter.
You have one?
Good point.
I have one.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I have a very strong filter, thank you.
I look forward.
No, you don't.
Okay. So, but anywho, now I can definitely tell the difference between, let's just say, an old faithful that I might call up because I know he gonna, I guess, temporarily give me what I need, or at least partial of what I need, versus somebody that I'm just extremely attracted to. And it is not even about, oh, he does this or oh, he does that. For me, sex is more mental now.
Exactly.
And if you're not right in my head, then it's hard for me to get to where I need to be. Like, I have to be inebriated or something. It's like I need additional help.
Well, I mean, I've always flowed like a fountain. We'll see what my 50s bring. But here's the thing.
Golly, I'm too visual in the world.
I'm sorry.
I just got thirsty, but all right, go ahead.
But I'm also, it's a mental thing with me. If we're in the mix and I get bored, my fountain may turn off.
You say what?
My fountain may turn off if I'm bored.
Oh, not you. What was that little sideline comment he said?
Oh, I said Sahara because deserts popped in my mind.
Well, I'm never Sahara. I mean, I'm just never Sahara. I don't know what that's about, but I'm never that to that extreme. But the fountain will turn off.
So for whatever men are listening to this, I think y'all both verified that the level of attraction affects the amount of wet ass pussy. To shout out to Cardi and Megan.
It's not just the attraction, though.
No, it's not just that, but that's a major.
I mean,
factor.
It's also the engagement, and because I can be mad attracted to you, but if you bore me to death, then
then that's not attraction. That's sitting there going like, this motherfucker here. Nah, I'm on to the next one.
Well, I mean,
not necessarily on to the next one, but like, yeah, it ain't happening right now.
Well, I mean, I'm easily bored. So there's that. I'm easily bored.
Me too.
So I don't necessarily hold that against somebody because I know how I am. I can be attracted to you, and you can still be boring me in the moment.
And I'm that same way. Here's the bad part about me. I recognize this about myself. I know what it is. Like, not only do I bore easily, I'm mean when I'm not like being satisfied. And so it needs to stop. Whatever we're doing needs to stop, because if it doesn't come out of my mouth, you're going to see it all on my face. And you're really probably not going to feel very good about yourself for whatever reason. Once you see me. Because
mean in the sense that, like, all right, we got to stop, or mean in the sense of like, okay, we're going to have to change this, or this shit ain't going to work.
Depends on who I'm dealing with and what I'm feeling like.
Okay, so back to the original question.
I'm not mean, but I will disengage, which is what turns the faucet off probably, because I will disengage. Like, I'll just be like, all right, I'm bored,
And the
like,
end,
hurry this shit along so I can watch my program on TV or whatever,
Oh, fuck. Okay, you lost me there. This hurry this along means, okay, bust a nut and keep it moving, or just, okay, slide on that.
Usually the former, but sometimes the latter.
That is so confusing.
Depending on
comfortability.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to the original question of how much does size matter. I understand that with attraction, there's variables. Like, okay, like if you like somebody, they can be 6 to 9 and you're cool. What level of too small or too big is just, nah, fuck this, I'm not doing that?
The level of too small is
it in?
If I don't know you're there, then what are we doing? Like, what is the whole entire point?
So there's a level, I'm assuming that if you actually like a guy, between 6 and 9 inches is like cool. Mm-hmm. What is the level of too small or too big that's like, fuck that?
You keep harping on these on these numbers.
Yeah, I'm not like, I know nobody's standing there with a ruler. I'm generalizing.
Well, I mean, I have been known to grab a ruler or tape measure, but not because, just out of curiosity, not because it matters.
It's not on regular dick. It's like, okay, this is extremely small or extremely big. Let me find out the exact number. But no, I'm not speaking exact numbers. I'm speaking hypothetical ranges.
You also have to understand that girth matters as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be an 8 with a pencil.
Gotta stare at like Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I mean, and then, there's going to be a lot of, if you don't have a good technique involved, then.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that most people that are, I don't know, above 7, 8 inches have to understand. Like, okay, you can't get over on the fact you're just big. There has to be an actual talent to it. Like y'all were saying earlier, like you got to work your way up to that adjustment.
Right.
Yeah, because I've had that, and
what's that?
I've had 10 and 3/4 inches with no.
Hold on. After 10, you're still measuring quarter inches.
10 and 3/4.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, that's oddly specific,
okay.
but okay.
Yeah, kudos to that egomaniac. But
right.
Well, it wasn't even so much about him being the egomaniac. I just was curious. But he knows I'm that way, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So you like me? Like, let me get my tape measure.
Like, just how long are you? Like.
Yeah.
All right.
Side note: do you measure from the top or the side?
What?
There's a difference. Do you measure from the top or the side?
I measure from the top.
Okay. Just wondering. Go ahead.
I do both.
Yeah, I do, shaft only because,
I still think from the top or the side is a different measurement, but I'm weird.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he had no technique. His head game was bad because he was big, and he felt like he was
needed.
He felt like that was all he needed. So his stroke game was terrible, and his head game was horrible because he was a big dude, and he felt like that was all he needed.
And let me just say, that is the worst thing in the world. I mean,
the head game or the dude that just lays there and expects you to ride.
Both. But if your head game is terrible, I would rather you just not even do it.
Yeah, don't even go down there. Don't
even go. Like, if you don't know what you're doing.
Okay, to expand, what makes head game terrible?
I mean, dudes first of all, you need to learn the anatomy. Okay.
Important.
Because a lot of y'all be trying to lap at the wrong parts. And I'm like, dude, stop. Like, stop. It's annoying.
That's number one.
That's the first thing.
First of all, what makes head game bad for me is a dude that is not in tune to a woman's body and doesn't know anatomy.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
Here's the thing. If you are in tune to a woman's body, you literally feel when you are in the right spot. And if orgasm is your objective, why the fuck are you moving? Why are you leaving from that spot?
That was going to be my exact point. Also, you need to understand that not everybody is the same. So what?
You got to read the reactions.
Yeah. So what Starlight is not going to be the same as what I like. Okay. So you have to pay attention and not just do your thing because, hey, this is what the last girl liked, so this is what I'm going to do with you. Nah,
reading reactions is very important. There's also the thing, and I'm in my 40s my damn self, but I know I'll even put it on me as a younger person.
But just barely because you're a baby. But
shit, Mark at the moon. Anyway, there's a thing you think when we're younger, we go, oh, okay, that's working. Let me do it harder and faster. And I think it needs to be explained that no, you don't do that. If it's working, keep that same pace.
Yes, sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's not automatically like, oh, that's working. Do it harder and faster.
Right.
Hey, I'm trying to clear this up for whatever men listen to this shit. I'm being helpful.
Aww.
Well, thank you. Because a lot of y'all need to understand some things.
Because I've had dudes that have been terrible, and I've had a couple of dudes who need to teach classes. One in particular. That nigga need to have a whole classroom sit down. Excuse me, we probably not supposed to say that word, but
yeah. Yeah, I had one of those once in my life, and I'm not ashamed to tell you I cried.
Ew. I did not cry, but
yes, I wept.
It wasn't in the middle. It wasn't in the middle of the moment, but I told that fool I loved him and didn't mean it. Like, I did not cry, but
no, I didn't cry in the moment either. It was afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't cry over him, but yeah. He went to go tell me he loved me, and I, with no hesitation, responded, "I love you back." And like a split second later, I was like, "Did I say that? Like, why did you say that?"
I love you back doesn't even count.
No. I'm not saying I didn't say I love you back. Meaning, my reply was, I love you too. I don't even know where that came from.
Yeah.
We've all said some dumb shit when we were caught up in the moment. It happened.
But it wasn't in the moment. We were literally standing outside of his house. Like, I think I was getting ready to go out of town or something.
Oh, then you fucked up.
I did.
Yeah, can't say that I ever said anything that I didn't mean, in the moment.
Not as an adult. I probably did as a teenager, but it was like, let's keep the mood going.
Well, I wasn't promiscuous as a teenager like you were, so,
Okay, I was light skinned in the 90s. We wasn't really banging, but I got what I could get.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. How dare you sit there and say the light skins weren't banging in the 90s? Al B.
Right,
Sure, L. DeBarge, LL Cool J, the list goes on. Like, are you kidding me?
Okay, I ain't gonna give it to LL, but the rest of them, that was early 90s. Like mid 90s, nah, we wasn't hitting like that.
And why are we not giving this to LL?
No, he said he would give it to LL, but everybody else.
I ain't counting LL as light skinned. He borderline.
Well, you borderline.
LL is light.
I'm gonna need you to look at more pictures. But anyway, I've been called light, bright, and almost white more than a few times in life.
Okay, I'm just telling you, if you came to my family reunion, you would reconsider your position.
We're not going by these Bayou rules.
Okay, well.
I'm lighter than a paper bag.
I was just getting ready to say, do we have to break out the paper bag?
Like, yeah, I mean,
I got my summer color on, so like if you look at my lower arms or legs, but no, if I take a shirt off, this whole room will get brighter than that. It's not.
Okay. I'm just saying, you're not as light skinned as you think you are. That's all I'm saying.
Once again, I'm gonna need you to look at more pictures.
Okay. Well, send me more pics.
I'll get around.
You got my number.
Yeah, but I got my summer color. I'm gonna have to hit you up in the winter. I work outdoors, and this ain't real. All right, next topic.
So my post yesterday was it stemmed from a conversation I had with a friend about how a lot of these younger people, more specifically African American children, are like talking back, like they have like attitudinal undertones when they talking to their elders, and they're just not.
Mama white?
No,
they won't let us beat them anymore. No, that's what that is.
But yeah, right. Tell her, cause I don't know.
I don't go by the rules, but yeah.
I don't know what it is with this generation, or is the generation before them. But back in the day, I remember if you looked wrong, if you might lose a tooth. And
oh my God, did you cut your eyes at me?
Right, you get your head knocked off. Or at least they would try, like for rolling eyes. More or less. You think you about to walk into your room and slam your door aggressively or
Wait a minute. Your room? Your door? No, none of that belonged to you.
Exactly. I'll take the hinges off that mug. But
my mother was very clear. You don't have a room.
Right. That is my room.
That is my room. My door. You do not slam door. You do not slam my doors in my house.
You currently take up space in. But my whole point for even bringing any of that up, and I got to thinking about not only, you know, how we pretty much had to take what it is that the elders said to us, because not just our parents, you know, anybody that was in that supervisory position, neighbors, church people, whatever.
Uncles and them.
Uncles and aunties, whoever, you know, mama's friends, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
You pretty much took what they said and you just moved along. And I was talking about how terrible that was for me as a child. Number one, because I was not trying to be disrespectful, but I always had questions. And I was always very literal when I heard people say things. I was always very visual and very literal. So my example was, don't be messing with them boys. They got cooties. And old men have worms.
Word.
Oh, okay. Funny you should say that, because one of my best friends said her grandmother used to say that all the time, that if you mess with old men, they give you worms.
It's true.
Now, here was my thing as a kid.
You're not that old, but if you got a worm for me, Magic, I'll take it.
Keep talking slick.
So, here was my thing as a kid. Where do these cooties and worms come from, and why can't they just go to the doctor and take some medicine and get rid of them? Y'all just gonna let them walk around with cooties and worms? I didn't understand. You understand? Like, I was so confused with a lot of them old people, elder sayings, back in the day, because I was taking them very literally.
Yeah.
And old men got worms, and boys, you know, got cooties, was one of them. Like, I don't think I had my first kiss until I was 14, because I was literally scared that boys had cooties.
Oh, wow.
Well, I had a brother, so they didn't really tell me that boys had cooties, you know. Yeah, I had a brother, so, you know, you couldn't really say that without, you know, being offensive to it. Yeah. You didn't have your first kiss till you were 14?
I was about 13 or 14, somewhere around there. Yeah. How
old were you, Magic?
Okay, just to put things into perspective about how disturbed I am, I lost my virginity at 6. But as far as molestation, which I didn't realize till I was in my 30s, but first kiss, probably 7th grade, so 12 maybe?
Oh, wow.
Go ahead and say you was fast.
No, I mean, I was 8 when I had my first kiss. Like, my first real kiss.
But you know, the thing with like cooties and worms and shit, and I'm a father with 2 daughters, I'm not going to tell them that bullshit, but I understand to an extent, like, you understand yourself as a man and the predatory shit of go for the pussy. So you want to have your daughter, like, in fear of that.
Well, I'll say this. I'll say this about that.
Good parenting.
I'll say this about that. Like, I was never told any of that. However, I also was like late with the virginity thing. For whatever reason, I held on to it.
Until.
and I say for whatever reason because...
Yeah, you ain't broke out of age yet.
Oh, I was 17.
Me too, other than the molestation shit.
And me too.
Yeah, I was 17, which most of my friends had. Yeah,
I think most of my friends were talking more shit than they were actually doing.
Oh no, my friends were definitely doing the shit they were talking about, and I knew, and the reason I knew that is because several of them popped up with babies.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah, when I was in junior high, because we had junior high back then,
That still exists.
I think no, my junior high is now a middle school, so
same difference.
It's not.
Okay.
But because I was in 9th grade, I was at junior high. There was a girl, one of my classmates. She was in 8th grade, and she was pregnant. Now, I'm old, so that was a big deal back then.
Yeah, they disappear for a few months.
No.
She wrote out? Gangster.
Well, she didn't disappear until later, but everybody knew she was pregnant. But here's what was funny about that. She had her baby, and I had heard she had the baby, and someone came to me and said, "Oh, did you hear about so-and-so?" Which is her sister that was in 7th grade. She had a baby. And I was like, "No, you mean her sister, the 8th grader, who had the baby." And she was like, "No, they both had their babies a week apart."
Oh, Lord have mercy.
But nobody knew the 7th grader was pregnant.
I got to teach my daughters about cooties and worms. What the fuck?
Nobody knew the 7th grader. Exactly. People around me were, they were getting busy early on. Why I wasn't?
Okay, for the record, were these black chicks?
These two particular ones were not.
Okay, because from fucking middle school to high school to now, it's always been weird to me how, like, white parents will let their 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24-year-old boyfriend stay at the house overnight.
Yeah, no, these were not black girls. They also weren't white.
Somewhere in between.
And, well, you know where I'm from.
Yeah, their parents do that too. And
yeah.
why are we fucking censored? Mexican?
Yeah, they were Mexican girls. But when I was in, I think 11th grade, one of my really good friends, she was in 10th grade, and she had a baby. So, and she was black. Well,
did she have a father at home that was functional?
Yes.
We know it was all partly. It was military bases. Let's keep it real. Every time a brother gets sent to another country, he come back with a wife.
I wasn't partly. And my dad was military, so
was it before or after he made you?
We don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be stunned, okay? But I'm just saying. Yeah, so no, I actually did have friends that were, they were getting it in. And I just wasn't. And I don't know why I wasn't.
I know I was shy back in them days, so.
My middle school, junior high school, and part of high school was parochial. And I didn't really know a lot of people who were getting it in, except for my best friend at the time.
That hussy.
She lived down the street from me, and her whole family looked like the DeBarges. Let's just say friendly people.
How's she living now is the question.
You want to know what's crazy? In high school, I started dating this guy that was the captain of the basketball team. And I'm sort of a introvert. And he broke up with me because I wouldn't have sex with him. And my silly self, like a lot of young girls, I'm telling my best friend at the time, like, I really love him. I think maybe it's time and all this other stuff. So it was like 2 days later, this nigga was sitting in her, this fool was sitting in her living room. I'm like, what is he doing here? And I was so mad at him. I was more mad at her because you were supposed to be my friend. And they were basically calling you baby Janet Jackson. You could have any dude you wanted. Why him? Okay,
Hoes
let's
are gonna be
fast forward.
hoes.
Well,
He gets the draws from her, stops dealing with her, and somewhere in his twisted little mind, he thought that was going to make me jealous and make me want to deal with him.
yeah,
that's teenager shit.
Yeah. So let's move on.
I don't know if I know anybody from high school who just is hit. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't recognize.
Facebook. I would say 90% of the people I went to high school with is looking. The banging ones, nah, they fell off. Yeah. There's like one or two that's like, oh, okay, she's still fly, but yeah.
I mean, okay, if you say so.
If y'all like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe. If you don't like it, tell everybody you know. It's the threesome. We out. Peace, bitches.
Peace.